Hello, how are you? Welcome new. Please subscribe my channel and like this video. My topic is international student loan. What is international student loan? Select yes if you are citizen. You should always carefully evaluate how much money you will need to study in the USA. Then you will need to research and apply for scholarship, financial aid from your school, and find money from many other sources, including families fund. After existing these events, most international students still have a funding gap, and that's where international student loans come in. What is an international student loan? Federal student loans are popular with the students studying in the US, but they are not available to international students. Instead, international students are eligible for international student loans, specialized private education loans available to international students studying in the US. International student loans are now a very realistic way to finance your education in the US. Loans are very flexible and can offer loan amount high enough to pay for entire education, but with extended repayment terms and reasonable interest rates, so you can afford the repayment after you graduate. Consignor: most international students applying for loans must have a US consignor in order to apply. Consignor is legally obligated to repay the loans if a consignor eligible obligated to repay the loan if the borrower fails to pay. The consignor must be a permanent US resident with good credit who has lived in the US for the past 2 years. The consignor is often close friend or relative who can assist in getting credit. Since most international students cannot receive credit on their own, if you are not able to find a consignor, see if there are no consignor loans available to you. Interest is the additional amount charged by a lender on top of the principal amount that has been borrowed. The interest rate is computed using a benchmark rate plus a margin, with the margin being committed contingent on the credit worthiness of the borrowers or their consignor. Through widespread benchmarks utilized for determining the interest rate for international students include the prime rate and the SOFR secured overnight financial rate. Prime interest rate. This benchmark is influenced by the federal funds rate. This benchmark is influenced by the federal funds rate, which is established by the US Federal Reserve. It serves as a basic for lending rates in the market and is often utilized in the calculation of interest for loan providers to individual borrowers and business. So for the SOFR secured overnight financing rate is an interest rate benchmark that is administered by the Federal Reserve Bank of New York. This benchmark is based on the transaction in the Treasury repurchase market, where banks and investors borrow or loan treasury overnight as a risk-free overnight funding rates. SOFR includes data from a wide range of market participants, making it more transparent and representative of the prevailing market conditions. It has been adopted as an alternative faced certain controversies in the past when determining the interest rate for an international student. The lender considers the chosen benchmark prime rate or SOFR and adds an extra percentage depending on the credit worthiness of the borrowers or their consignors. This ensures that the final interest rate accurately reflects the risk associated with lending to a particular individual, and it also takes into account the prevailing economic environment represented by the benchmark.